Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast.
Welcome to episode 164 of the Hop Nation USA Podcast. And we're here with a very special guest this week. But first, my co-host Adam has also returned.
Yeah, not so special. I'm always here.
Right. You're a part of this.
Just sends me a message and says, hey, turn on your computer, and I'm here. Okay.
Yeah, computer on, join the Zoom.
Grab a beer. Let's go.
If you haven't picked up on the, pattern yet, we're doing Zoom meeting one week and then in studio, quote, studio meeting the next week.
Studio being my kitchen table.
Right. But the Zoom meeting allows us to have special guests. And this week we have a very special guest because we finally nabbed one of the drinking partners. And if you're watching the video, he just left the frame. So, so he left before he was on. But this week we have Bracey, obviously of the drinking partners, and upcoming Fresher Fest, also known as Freshest Fest, also known as the Fresh Fest Digi Fest. So how's it going, Day?
It's going. I had to grab my hat. Like, I'm on the porch, and like the sun is coming right at that angle where like it's just right in your face the whole time. You know, like when you're driving home from work, you know what I mean, and you hit that little angle, and it's just your visor don't get it. It don't matter what you do. It's at that perfect, like, fuck you angle. Is that an act of God? If I just barrel over into the next lane, like, is that an act of God?
He wanted it to happen.
That's right.
I mean, why else would he put the flashlight right in your face like that?
Now, I've got the hat on as well, so don't worry, you're in good company. But that's because I still haven't gotten a haircut since January. So for me, it would be too much of a mess. It would be distracting. So I'll just rock the hat. And Steve, I'll assume you're wearing a hat. We can't tell because you've assimilated with your computer.
Nope. I do as I please. There's a reason for all this.
You're like Zordon.
It gets worse, Day. If you haven't been to the show, because it absolutely gets worse.
We need your help. Read us out of the good.
That's going in the intro now.
Yeah, this is how I assemble all the beer people across the Pennsylvania. I call upon you, and I bring you to my weird museum / whatever hideout.
Oh man!
Shit.
Going on a marathon. That's next. Right after this podcast, I'm going on a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger binge.
So Steve, what are you drinking on this episode? At least for this segment.
So for this segment, I actually have kind of run out of beer in the fridge.
Really?
Everything I have is either stuff we've had before or it's committed to a future episode.
Okay.
So I kind of am down to the dregs, and I haven't been shopping yet, but tonight I'm drinking the Nimble Giant.
I mean, is Nimble Giant really the dregs, though?
No, it's not. It's definitely not the dregs.
That is a first world problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have beer per se. Like, you're broke like Hammer's broke. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a different struggle.
Yeah. Beer from 3.5 hours away. What shall you ever do, Steve?
I will say this is the best beer I'll have on here tonight, but yes.
Like, oh, well, I mean, I got some, but I've already talked about it, and I want to talk about the rest later. But listen, I had this elf drop off some shit, nothing special. You know how they are.
So, yeah, Nimble Giant for me tonight. Obviously, one of the best IPAs in PA. And,
it's delicious. It's candy.
Yeah, so great. Adam, what are you drinking?
So I was able to go a little bit more local. I got something from Grist House. Their Bee-utiful blonde. It's their Belgian blonde ale. Apparently, I've had that a while ago. I didn't realize that. I don't care. I'll drink it again. It's good. I like it. That's all there is to it. I think it's like 8% ABV or something like that. So it'll get me where I need to go for sure.
It's a heavy one.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a fun episode.
Neat. Dave, what are you drinking tonight?
Those guys. I got this Embrace the Martian over at 11th Hour. Apparently they put a bunch of German hops in this and made it hazy. And it's clear. It's a weird color for a hazy. It tastes like melons, like melon and pineapple and mango. Like it is something I have not had before. Like it is fucking delicious. It drinks like a almost like a, like it has like the body almost of like a Pilsner. And it's an 8.8.
Damn.
So it it tastes and feels like a lawnmower beer, but that is a fucking sleeper.
Yeah, that's a bad combination.
Yeah. That's a different game of softball right there.
That sounds really good. I'd definitely be into that.
Yeah.
And like looking at the color, you said it has like that melony flavor to it, but it looks kind of like that like the shittier cantaloupe. What's the shittier cantaloupe? Honeydew, yeah.
That's exactly what it's like, a honeydew kind of. Like it's a weird. I'm a fan. I have not had a beer quite like this before, man. It's they're doing dope shit down there.
Right.
So did you get that? Did you get that from the brewery, or did you get that from a local distributor?
No, I got this from the brewery. I stopped down because they're doing one of the collabs. So they're giving out free glasses with like the first, few purchases of the collab. So I was dropping that off. But apparently when you drop off like gifts to breweries, they gift you back. So, so shout out to 11th Hour. Those guys down there making crazy shit, man.
Yeah, I've had their stuff multiple times, and I'm gonna keep going back. I like their Dream Cannon series because I'm a sour fan, so I like what they're doing in that side of things. So they'll be getting my money again for sure.
Yeah, I'm a stout dude when it comes to 11th Hour because they're one of the few places that has a good stout like all year round. So I'm there often, or at least grabbing something from a cooler. Close by from them. I I saw the can. I was like, what the hell? And I'm glad I tried this. It's definitely one of my new faves.
Awesome.
Can I just say that I appreciate that you support the tenet of all weather is stout weather.
Mm-hmm. All year round, man. I was a weird ass kid that used to come out and like I'd be playing basketball like in the summertime with like one of those milk chugs.
Mm-hmm.
I went through this phase when I was like 16 where I was just drinking milk like every day. Like I was drinking gallons of milk. My mom ended up making me buy my own milk. She was like, "Look, you gonna spend your check on this because like she'd get like 2 gallons of milk. They'd be gone in like 2 days." I love that. My 3 favorite drinks are milk, beer, and orange juice. So like a milky, hazy IPA, kind of like a juicy, like that's like my pinnacle. That whole lactose. Give me all the lactose.
I say there's got to be something out there that hits all 3 of those.
Oh, a milkshake IPA, man. A nice juicy milkshake IPA. Yeah. Or if you get that stout with the nice little like a citrusy kind of, like hit to it. Oh, yeah.
You might want to check out the Couch and Abjuration Black is Beautiful collab coming out because it's going to be a chocolate orange stout. So
that yes sir. That's it. You won me.
Yeah, they're shooting for that Christmas chocolate orange flavor in July, August. So yeah.
I say, did they say when that's officially going to be coming out yet?
I asked Dennis and he didn't get back to me. So
Damn it, Dennis.
yeah, so I don't know. It'll be soon
Man,
enough.
brewers, brewers just want to brew. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to. They don't want to schedule. They just want to brew. Folks is like, when we gonna get these collabs? I'm like, man, have you ever talked to a brewer? It's like we dealing with yeast, the government, and the motherfucking a pandemic. Like, it's
Just be glad you're getting it in the first place, kind of thing.
right. I'm surprised motherfuckers even still exist. Like, have you seen the world? Like, and we ship it to the door. That's a whole other thing. Like, motherfuckers used to have to spend money to like get a taxi and buy a ticket and get into the fest, and then have to like get a hotel afterwards or some shit. Like, there was all these things that were attached to enjoying this fucking. I think you'd only get like 5 ounces. You know what I mean? Like, that's all you was getting was 5 ounces for all that work. Now I was getting shipped to your door, which is kind of awesome. People ain't satisfied, man.
I mean, so yeah, let's just jump right into it. You're talking about how this year for Fresh Fest, you guys are actually sending beer out, and you're sending 2 different collab packs through both Tavour, which is a big name company that will ship to 25 different states, and you're also sending it through the local Brentwood distribution, Beverages to You. So can you talk?
And the Brentwood distro, that'll do all of Pennsylvania, correct?
Yeah,
yeah,
Brentwood does. So yeah, what can you tell us more about the beers that are coming through for us? I've seen a couple of them.
Yeah, so man. So yeah, we got these 2 4-packs. Each of them will feature a hop, lager, dark, and sour selection. We got 8 black-owned breweries paired up with 8 local Pittsburgh breweries. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. The collabs that are coming out are pretty dope. Every year it's dope. Just seeing what these folks come up with, because it's not the all right, I just got this recipe, let's just brew this and like put a cool label on it and keep it moving. Like, it's a real conversation between the collaborator. Like, typically in the past it was always a collaborator within the community and a brewery here locally. This year it's been dope because we get to choose, so it's not like breweries just like knew each other, had a relationship, had an understanding of each other, and decided to come together because they had some, it's like we're just like, yo, these dudes are cool as shit. You guys should probably brew a beer together. And like, they fucks with the cause, so they're like, yeah, let's do that. And like, seeing how those 2 entities like are meeting for the first time, and then after about 4 to 6 weeks, they come up with this thing, like, is dope as shit. And then when you add the fact that this year, all of the labels are designed by Black artists, like, you're adding a 3rd entity in there, and the creativity is pretty dope. I don't know if you guys saw that Dancing on War Cloud Wise Words double IPA. I mean, it's a beautiful fucking label. The label for Apollo last year, that 11th Hour did with War Cloud, was my favorite label, and it was one of my favorite beers. It was this 7-Up, like pineapple or lemon upside down cake kind of like beer, and it's, Jesus, man, it was so ridiculous. But the label was super dope, and I'm super excited about that label there. The what was it? What is the Shubrew 4 City collab is like this wheat beer with like Oreos and cocoa nibs and lactose and vanilla.
That just sounds like silly times. And
yeah.
I'm already a fan.
Like, it's a wheat beer, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But like, I mean, Shubrew is known for kind of, like, doing some other type shit. And 4 City, 4 City out of where are they at? New Jersey. Like, I mean, those guys have been, I mean, they've only been open for a short period of time, and they've come out they've made a name for themselves just from their their lineup and whatnot. And to see that come out, I was like, ooh, Brewer's gonna work it out. So that label was dope. And then the what is it? The Fight the Sour. Man, I love that label. But it's supposed to mimic. They call it like a bramble. I think is what it's called. But it's Grist House and white lime, and it has blackberries and juniper in the sour. So it's supposed to mimic gin and fruit. And I had a can. I happened to be by the other day, and they were actually canning it up.
Nice.
I was like, oh shit! What's what I mean? And they're like, yeah, you want one? I was like, wait, what? I was like, okay, yeah. So I had it fresh off the line, and oh man, I mean, the shit was, I don't know, it's kind of dope getting to put on the fest. I mean, it's a lot of work or whatever, but it is kind of dope because I'm a fan, and that's all I am, and that's all I'm ever really gonna be in this. I don't have any interest in brewing or owning a brewery or doing any of that shit. It's hard work. I've been in the restaurant industry, half my life, and I know what it takes to own and operate some shit like that, and I just ain't got it in me. I love drinking and talking shit, but I mean, that whole supply chain management is for the birds. So, I do get to be a fanboy, and I mean that seeing this come out, and having that beer, didn't even have a label on it yet, and I was just sitting there while everybody, it's just closed down, everybody's working. I'm just in the back with a little sandwich from Carson Street and a little beer, I'm just one of the guys. Just it was pretty dope. So yeah, no, some pretty dope collabs coming out of this thing, and we were lucky enough to hook up with Tavor. And when I say lucky, this community, it's a community project. Nobody myself or anybody else involved, nobody does it by themselves. And the way that this thing developed was, we kind of me and Mike, when we first started out a couple of years ago, just kind of mentioned it to a handful of people and said, hey, we're thinking about doing this thing. Do you want to get down? And they were all just overwhelmingly hell yeah, we need this. And they all offered something to it. They all offered some ideas or some input or some skill or some, something. I mean, I was picking people's brains for months leading up, saying, how do you what do you hate about festivals? What do you hate about this? Because I had never done this before. And that's the reason why it's successful, is this community thing. So we announced this again. Here we are, a couple of years later, and we're announcing doing another crazy ass fucking thing, a virtual beer festival, and the support was fuck yeah, let's do that. And a friend of mine reached out and was like, yo, I got this Tavor Connect. I know you're looking for ways to get beer or whatever. Maybe something can come of it. I don't know, but I can, here's an email. And I was like, yeah.
That's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. And I sent the email, and she was like, yes, we need this to happen. And so we felt I was scratched, I was beating my brain, how are we gonna get beer? How are we gonna get beer? I had this whole I was gonna start calling all my connects and finding out what the delivery places were, and maybe even applying for distribution. There was all kind of wild shit. And then
to start a bootlegging network.
Yeah. An email later, it was we'll handle half the country for you.
Oh, sure, thanks.
Yeah, all right.
All right. It allowed me to go to other things. So yeah, I mean, shout out to the Rollinsons, and shout out to Tavor, and shout out to Beverages to you. They were the first ones to be yep, we'll at least get it to PA. I mean, you ain't gonna have to drive and drop off cases out in Philly. We got you.
Yeah, that's pretty good, not having to drive all the way to the Poconos to get somebody their beer. So
yeah.
But
that's the sour label, man. Oh, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom, Tom Poet. Man, this whole idea with the mixed 4-pack or whatever was his idea. He was saying, he's been in the industry for a while. I don't know if you've ever had full pint but a lot of
Oh, for
pint
sure.
success is due to Tom, like, you know, just running around. Just, I mean, if you've had his beers because if you've had full pint, it's because he sold it to you indirectly. I mean, and working with him has been super dope. And his idea was like, you know, this mixed 4-pack and it was supposed to mimic a thing that Stone did back in the day, where like they had all these different collaborations, and they would like you would get a 12-pack, but it would have like, you know, like six different beers in it, like 6 different collaborations. And like Stone was able to do that. Like, I mean, that was, you know, like, and it would rotate. They would have this series that would happen, and that's something that Stone was able to do because it's fucking Stone.
Right.
So like to be able to mimic something like that, you know, they discontinued it years ago, but they be able to mimic something like that, to be able to be able to have the connections and the support to do something that mimic something like that is super dope. I don't know if you're going to be able to get a 4-pack or even an 8-pack with as much variety and art and just like into it, man. So shout out to Tom.
Yeah, especially because, and this is one of the best parts about Fresh Fest is the collaboration where you bring in, you know, breweries across the country. And, you know, like you said, in the past years, it's been Black artists and local business owners pairing with breweries. But this year you have Black breweries pairing with local breweries. But like getting to Vor is huge because the Fresh Fest brings people from across the country to Pittsburgh, but now it puts Pittsburgh across the country. And that's
that's a nice way of putting that, Steve. I like
that. Yeah. No, it's exactly what we were. You know, I mean, when so I'm a comedian by trade, and you know, like sometimes that gets lost in all the beer. But like, you know, I love comedy, and I was on that whole like, you know, headliner traveling route. And, you know, I did a couple, you know, I did some traveling, I did a tour, and like, I was just like, man, you know, it's a lot. And people kept saying like, you know, if you want to make it, you got to get out of Pittsburgh. But like, I was like, you know, I went out to New York, and my cousin is a producer out there, and like, he's been producing out there for decades, you know, back in like Salt and Pepper and Kid and Play days and shit like that. And you know, he put me on stage, and like, you know, I'm on stage with all these like Comic View comics and like all these bigger names, and in front of this New York crowd in Manhattan Saturday night, and I'm like, yo, this is wild as shit. And like, I bombed crazy. Like, it was my first, like, bombed insane. And then like, I got on stage, and then the host started like cracking on me for another 10 minutes, like just to bring the crowd back. Like, I was like, this is wild. And after that, I switched up my whole shit and was like, fuck hitting the road. Like, I'm going to just bring talent to Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like, I think that this city has something to offer. And, I started doing that with the producing, with the comedy, and, like, you know, booking acts and bringing people into Pittsburgh. And they love that. But the goal was always, you know, not only to bring folks in, but at some point to, like, by bringing people in, spreading the message like, yo, Pittsburgh is something to invest in. Because like, there's no Black middle class neighborhood in Pittsburgh. And if you're not, if we don't bring in investment, especially if we don't bring in Black investment into the city, then we're never going to see that. So, you know, a big part of that is showcasing to the country and to the world that Pittsburgh has a lot of cool shit happening. There's like, we're able to do things in this city that you can't do in New York or, you know, like LA or Miami or Chicago. I mean, the cost of living is amazing here, and it allows artists, it allows entrepreneurs to have that day job before, you know, some sort of living, and also have some time to pursue, you know, an outside endeavor. And it's also connected enough here that like, if you want to make a difference, you know, everybody knows everybody. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. So like, while, you know, it kind of starts to feel like a small pond, it also is a place where, you know, like, I've been able to make some inroads over the last 8 years of entertainment and production that, I mean, I still would be sitting at 3 o'clock in the morning waiting for, you know, some comic to get done with his 5 minutes if I was in LA. And I think that's what Pittsburgh offers to a lot of people in a lot of different ways and a lot of industries is, you know, like, bring bring that LA check here, bring that Chicago check here, bring that Miami check here, and see what you can do with it. You know, instead of just struggling to buy a $20 cocktail on Rodeo Drive.
We are not just a dying steel town anymore.
Well, no, you
Nah.
gotta find something to replace it, and you know, like Dave's saying, there's a lot of opportunity for artists. Like there was that I don't know, probably like 10 years ago, there was that big push to bring all kinds of film industry stuff into Pittsburgh, and because they wanted film to be, you know, part of, like they gave it a tax haven and everything, so they want some sort of artistry to happen here. So bringing people in to do it is a good way to, you know, have that happen.
Yeah, if you have talent, we can support you here. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and I mean, we like, you know, and with the festival, you know, we try to encompass like all aspects. So it's not just, you know, like getting shit faced and, you know, talking about beer or whatever. You know, we have like, so like this year we have the small business workshop with New Sun Rising. That's an incubation. You know, like you can come in, and if you want to open up a brewery or any kind of small business, you know, come in, and we're not just going to throw you to the wolves. There are programs and assets out there to help you along that process. And we are very rich in, you know, we're very awash in grant funding here in this area. You know, at times, and that's the thing, is that because of that, corporations don't put in their fair share because they feel like, well, it's being taken care of. So that's something that we got to do a better job of demanding when we're here in the city. But, you know, at the same time, the cost of living is cheap enough, the real estate is cheap enough that like you could come in, grab a, you know, comparably. You can come in, grab comparably some cheaper real estate here, and you'll have some support, you know, grants and also, you know, education and networks that will help support you. So it's not just a, all right, yeah, come in, and it's like, all right, you bought your first house. All right, good luck now.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. We got pierogies every day. Like, you know, like, it's, you know, we're here to help, you know, incubate that and those connections. So, yeah.
Cool. You got to watch out with that pierogi talk, Day. You've had some real, I don't know, controversial takes on Twitter, right? You know, the past couple days, as far as cabbage and potato cuisine, and it's very much my heritage, and I'm not going to put up with it.
It is so. There's so much cabbage out here, man. And not the, you know, I'm not talking about the cheddar or the broccoli. Yeah, it's like we're talking really like cabbage. Like,
yeah.
If I go to Atlanta, I'm like, yo, man, it's just mad cabbage out there. They'd be like, what? I need to be up there. I'm like, listen, we talking about lettuce.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah.
No. We talking about leaves, bro.
Let me sit you down, show you a couple videos first.
No, I mean, it's dope. It's like, I think that that's just, for me, I mean, it is. I think that there's just too much, right? Like, there is a lack of diversity in Pittsburgh. So, like, we don't have that same diversity in the food scene that you get in other, you know, not even like Philly, right? Like, it's just like, it's the same state. And it's wild because, like, talking to people who don't really know Pittsburgh but know Philly, they're like, oh, it's PA, right? Like Philly. Oh, it's like, I'm like, no.
Nope.
Not like, not like Philly. Like, and it's wild. Like, even Cleveland gets a lot of hate over here. And I used to hate Cleveland until I went to Cleveland, and I was like, oh shit, there's black people here. Like, it's wild. Like, they walk around downtown and shit. There's like, you know, there's a presence there. There's like middle class neighborhoods and like people, and like it's like normal to see folks. Like, it's normal to see folks walking down the street that are black in a good neighborhood in Cleveland. Like, that's just not like, yeah, I mean, like, if you see black people walk around a good neighborhood in Pittsburgh, it's because like they're on an interview or some shit. Like, that's typically how that works, or they're a transplant, or they're going to school. Like, that's typically how the black experience is here. So like, it's wild. You know, with the food and all that, it's like, Like I love that shit in doses. Like I go down to the farmers market down the street. So I'm over in Beaver, and those Polish ladies got the motherfucking the stuffed cabbage. And
Yeah.
that shit, bro. Like, I mean, I'm down there like every Saturday in the summertime because I mean the beef in that bitch, whatever they got in that recipe with the cabbage and that sauce and the potatoes are like 90% butter with like some potato dust sprinkled on that shit. It is fire. Like
it's potatoes, it's paprika, and it's butter, and yeah, that's about
And then more butter on top of that.
More butter.
on, like, you know what I mean? Like that shit is fire. Like that's soul food. But like I don't, you know, I mean, like one, not everybody's making that shit because there's a lot of mediocre ass potatoes out here. I just want to throw it out there. You know what I mean? And two, you know, it'd be nice if I could like, you know, get a little variety on Mondays and Tuesdays. So yeah, that's what I've been feeling the last couple of days. Is this like, especially Sundays and Mondays. Because Sundays and Mondays, all the barbecue spots is closed. You know what I mean? All the barbecue spots is closed. All the fried chicken spots is closed. Like I'm just like, come on, man. Like what is? And this is when I need it the most, right? Sunday. Like Sunday is like, it's all right. It's all right. Yes, the weekend is almost over, but look, here's some fried chicken. And then Monday,
have you tried Bowser's?
Bowser's?
Yeah, in Monaca. It's really good barbecue. That's good barbecue.
Bowser's in Monaca. I don't know if I had that. I had the there's this new spot that opened up, like Good Field Times or something like that just opened up, and it's yeah. I mean, and it, you know, and like so my family's from North Carolina, so like it's hard because like you know what I mean. Again, it's like you get for $10 you get what you get up here for like 25, and it tastes twice as good. Like it's like it's a different struggle, man. Like that rib dinner down North Carolina is like $10.99. Like 18 ribs and like 3 sides with that motherfucker, you know what I mean, with a big fat homemade Kool-Aid juice on the side. Like it's, you know, you feel love down that motherfucker, man. I spent $25 over here. I get 3 bones and some dry ass cornbread and like some macaroni and cheese that's barely got any cheese in that motherfucker. Like I'd be like, why? Like what is? And it's fine dining, man. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, let's jump back to the beers that we were drinking, and then we'll come back with another segment. But what's everybody feeling about how they're drinking right now? I'm good. It's Nimble Giant.
I was gonna say that's yeah. Your dregs are okay, Steve.
Yes, I shouldn't have said that.
We did the Fresh Fest, that peach collab with Troegs last year, man.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That was good.
Fresh Fest. Oh my god, man. I wanted some like crazy heavy lactose like laden shit, and they were like, how about we do something classy in the summer? Like, man, it came out fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah, that was so good last year.
Yeah, for me with the Grist House, the beautiful blonde, I'm a fan. I like it. I'm glad I grabbed a 4-pack because the other 3 are not going to last much longer. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I'll see if I can get one next week, maybe.
All right. I'll put one in the other fridge. That way I kind of forget about it.
All right, fair enough.
I'll put it in the food fridge rather than the beer fridge.
How's your alien beer there, Day?
It's good. So it doesn't have that crazy hot burn that you get from some like hazies where like, you know, you swallow and it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's mellow as fuck. But while it drinks like a Pilsner or whatever, like after a few minutes, that shit starts to warm up and you be like, oh yeah, that's almost 9.
Yeah.
That's definitely a fucking alien, man.
Good.
That's probably why. Yeah, I mean, like it's about to burst out of my belly and shit. The fuck it feels like.
I might have to find some of that. Well, we're going to come back with another segment. We'll be talking more with Day about Fresh Fest, probably talk a little more about stand-up comedy, maybe talk a little bit more about barbecue.
We're definitely planning a North Carolina barbecue road trip between segments here, just so you know.
Yeah.
We've got to pull the curtain back a little bit.
Yes, we need to know some good spots. Adam's actually heading down there soon, so he'll need some help.
I need all the help I can get with that.
Yeah, but we'll be right back and see you in segment 2. Welcome back to episode 164 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. We're still here with Dave Bracey of the Drinking Partners podcast, as well as Fresh Fest coming up August 8th. So get your tickets ready for the app, as well as all the streaming, everything else that's going on. Check out Tavor or beverages2u.com to get some of the beer and get ready.
And
gonna be a
Steve,
good
where
time.
can you get tickets?
You can get tickets at freshfest.com or freshfestdigifest.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can also download the app on the Google Play Store, because I know I did, or the iOS Store. It's a nice little app you guys put together with that. Like, it lets you know where everything is.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't do shit. I don't do shit for this festival, man. I don't brew beer. I don't ship shit. I don't perform. I definitely didn't make that app. Work hard, man. Like those motherfuckers. So the only reason we were able to even do any of this is because Work Hard is one of our main sponsors. We've been working in their basement for 6 years now with the podcast. That's where we record. Shout out to Epicast, Buzzy. Man, that dude is a beast. I don't record the podcast. I don't edit that shit. I don't know anything about podcasts. When I tell you my skill is drinking and talking shit, that is really all I do. Buzzy does all the recording and engineering. Work hard, owns a building. Brewers brew beer. I'm just drunk and I get entertaining to a degree in all this. But hanging out and getting drunk in Work Hard's basement for 6 years led to them building us an app, which is maybe the most unconventional way of going about getting an app that I've ever seen. But man, I don't know. It would make the teenage me proud. You know what I mean? I remember smoking a lot of weed and playing Madden in my friend's basement. My mom was like, "You're never gonna be anything doing that." And here I am, Mom. Basically the same thing. They Academy Pittsburgh is their organization. So what they do is they have these quick coding sessions where you can learn how to code in between 6 and 12 weeks. And at the end of that, you can come in and they it's very low cost, and then they, if you qualify or whatever, they don't charge you until after, you get a job and you start making money. So you can get this education and you can start, you get this, anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks education. But again, you have to have the time to go in because it's full days, right?
Right.
So but after 12 weeks, you have a job. You have the ability to get a job. So Black Tech Nation went through this, and she came in from Chicago, went through this 12-week course, and got out, and very shortly afterwards, got a job with the Washington Post.
Holy shit, that's awesome!
Some really decent money, and now she sponsored the fest last year, and is hiring people right now with her company. That started through the academy. After that, it was a 12-week course that she went through. So it's real, it's real opportunity that they're doing. Work hard. Josh Lucas founded that. The people down there, it's it's a shared workspace on the surface, right? You can $50 a month, and you can have an office space down there and have use of all of these various devices and space or whatever that's down there. But the real value is in the fact that one, you're working around all these talented individuals, right? So we're recording in this basement for 6 years, but also we're meeting, all these other companies that are starting up, Pitchworks. Shout out to Scott and the gang. Ryan Haggerty, who's running, a lot of the production side of things for Work Hard. Academy Pittsburgh developing this app. These are all people that are in here working, and that's really the beauty of in this gig economy. If you're gonna do anything, it's your network, and the Work Hard is one of those places where you can build that network of people and it won't cost you much. Like literally, it's $50 a month to just be in the office. And having an office, especially in this day and age, and getting you like in that right workspace is huge. I mean, like just being able to like have a desk and have a place where you're just, hey, I'm gonna do work right now. Especially when you're working from home a lot, that's huge. Having the ability to like bring somebody to an office and not have to like meet for dinner or like drinks all the time, because that shit, man, like having a network over drinks all the time is like, I mean, like that shit gets expensive. You know what I mean? Like, and then having those connections is super huge. So shout out to Work Hard, for the app and for the years of letting me get shit faced in their basement.
Awesome. Speaking of getting shit faced, is everybody reloaded with a new beer?
Yes, I have, Steve.
Okay.
Would you like to hear about it?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. It's another good one from Grist House. I assume it's good. I haven't had it yet, but I haven't had a bad one from Grist House yet. It's their crisp. It's a Kolsch. Coming in at 4 point something or other. But I mean, when it's not time for a stout, it's time for a Kolsch right about now.
Huh.
So it's supposed to be fairly malty.
Yeah. I mean, it looks clean, so.
It is. It's a very clean looking beer. Very, very light, very bright.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm digging on it.
Right on. Dave, what'd you pick up?
So I just got into this, right? So like, despite running a beer festival, the ways of beer trade elude me. Like I'm always like, I'm in all these beer groups and everybody's posting all this beer. And I'm like, they don't sell that down the street. Like, where'd you get that? Like, how is that legal? Like, it's a weird, you know what I mean? But there's this Black and Beautiful group that I just became a part of. And I was just, it was randomly like, man, that's crazy. I'll never be able to have any of these or whatever. And somebody like hit me up and I was like, yo, man, like I'm just gonna be like passing through Indiana. Do you want some beer? And I was like, cool. So they grabbed some booze and they grabbed me this Westbound and Down. Well, I mean, they had a bunch of different beers that they gave me in the parking lot. I met them in the parking lot of John Eagle.
Yeah, okay.
It was real shady.
I was gonna say I've been there myself.
Yeah, like it was a real like is it? You know what I mean? And it was a bunch of different beers or whatever from a bunch of different places. And one of those places, Colorado, apparently. So this is a hazy that they have, and it says limited release is a 5.6%. So I think it's special. It's well traveled, so I'm gonna find out as soon as I get done with this Martian.
Right on.
Nice.
Steve, what about you? How are you coming along with your dregs? Your bottom of the barrel? What do you kind of come up with? Some Utopias next?
No. I did come up with a Sweetwater Trainwreck, and it's part of their strain series. So it's all those beers that smell like weed because they have a little bit of terpenes in them. It's
it's good, that dank.
Yeah, and this one keeps right in line with the rest of them. It smells dank as hell. It is a hazy double IPA, 8%. It is pretty good, but I will say there's more on the aroma than there is on the taste, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
So have you had that one before, or is this the first time for you?
No, I think this one's actually pretty new because they did like the G13, I think it was, or the G20. And then they did the wheat version. Then they did the chocolate stout. Then they did a collaboration with Be Real from Cypress Hill. And now there's this one.
Right on.
So yeah, that G20, man, that shit changed my life.
That shit's really good. I would say that one's better than this one, but this one's pretty decent. It's like refreshing and easy drinking for an 8%.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
It sounds like the ones we had in the first segment. Dangerous.
You had this Uncle Buzz brownies from Butler. and it tastes like a straight weed brown. It was a hoppy. They called it a hoppy stout. But yeah, it was chocolatey and weedy. It was funny because I was over at my boy's crib, and like I'm like, yeah, he was like, yeah, what you got over there? And like, you know, I'm known as like the dude that brings over the weird beers. So like I'm like, yeah, well I got this one. It tastes like weed brownie. He's like, I don't know if I can fuck with that, bro. I gotta take a test like in a couple of days. He's like, nah, bro. I think you'll be all right. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna just skip just in case. Like, hilarious. But the shit does taste like weed brownie.
Yeah, I didn't get a hold of any of that, and I don't know because it's Butler, but like Butler Brew Works, they put out some good stuff. It's just they don't get to my circle of I don't know pickup.
Well, they do now because they've been coming to Creekside lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was about to say
okay.
Creekside. Yeah, Creekside has been dope on that.
yeah, they've been getting a lot of my money lately.
Like I didn't know what Creekside was until I don't know, maybe like a month or so ago, maybe like 2 months ago, and I've been down there like weekly, and that shit. Cause at 4 Points come up through there, and I'd be hitting them up. I'd be like hitting them up on Twitter, like, yo, when that shit drop, I'd be hitting up fucking Adam and shit, like a fiend, like y'all got any more of that 420? Like, shit.
Yeah, I just picked up some of that Twilight Hollow from 4 Points from Creekside. So yeah, I know also of their awesome distribution that they're picking up. So I'll probably head back soon.
And I'll probably see one of you guys there when I go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna be one of the few retailers that have the mixed 8-pack for pickup. Like,
oh really?
You can only get it. You can only get the mixed 8-pack from Tavor, Beverages to You, and then there's a couple of retailers like Carson Street Deli, Creekside, and a couple of others. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. I actually found that fucking what is it, that interdimensional pterodactyl from Helltown.
That was like a triple IPA or something?
It was a triple IPA. Oh my god! It was in a 6-pack. It was like a 10 like triple that shit. But it wasn't too much. Man, it drank like an 8, but it hit like a 12. And it was juicy and just delicious. And like, I mean, did y'all have any of that?
I didn't get any of it. I had been searching for it. I didn't know it was there.
That was a steal, man. Like, and I got it for cheap too. Like, I mean, I saw the label, and I know Helltown because Helltown was putting out hitters before they took over Rivertown. And I was drinking those dudes, and I was like, and they put out some solid shit. So when I saw that interdimensional, like I wasn't able to get it. Like I like, you know, there's all the beer releases and the pandemic and all that shit.
Right.
So like I wasn't looking for it. I didn't find it. And then I just happened to be down at Creekside, and I was looking in the cooler, and then I just happened to look over. I was like, is that what I
Well, hello there.
Oh shit! Like, you know what I mean? I should have grabbed 2 of those motherfuckers, man. I was mad, like, you know, but I grabbed one and it was not enough, man. So I don't know if you find it in the wild, I don't know, but like if they need to do more of that, man. I gotta call them. Like, write your local Helltown representative and tell them you want more interdimensional pterodactyl, man. That shit was a winner.
Yeah, I find a lot of triple IPAs. I mean, I don't love the branding of triple IPA, but a lot of people who put them out, because we had one from Canada that was really good, and I had the RGB from Hitchhiker is really good. So it's like, yeah, when you get them, they're great. I don't know, for some reason the triple IPA branding just bugs me for some reason. I don't know why.
If it's done right, like, I mean, I think the thing was that triple IPAs, there were so many out there. There was a lot of shitty ones. I mean, there was a lot of shitty triple
Yeah.
IPAs. Like it was like they were mostly shitty, to be honest. It was just like, because we went through that phase where it was like, how hoppy and boozy can we make the beer, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, the hoppiest and the booziest. So it was like, Sunday, get your hops, get your booze. Like, you know what I mean? And it was like, all right, we did it. So, like, once everybody kind of left the craze, then it was like, if I do it, you know it needed to be done. You know what I mean? That's where I feel like we're at now. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you see a triple, it's not there just for triple's sake. It's somebody got something to say, because I don't even know if there's is there a big market out there for triple IPAs? That's why I think that's why I think I was able to get it weeks later, because like the triple thing was like, everybody's like, triple, it's gonna be like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be this thick, syrupy, just
It's gonna wreck you.
Yeah, it's gonna wreck you, like you know what I mean? But like, I was able, like, I shouldn't. I had two of them. I should have had two of them, but they were just so easy fucking drinking that it was easy to have two of those motherfuckers. Shout out to them, man. I hope to see that again.
Man, now I just got to get back to Creekside like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, where everybody knows.
I don't know that we have any sway or anything, but if we can maybe pre-order an 8-pack for the Fresh Fest collabs, because the ones I've seen so far look really good, and I would like to get them all.
So, well, I would like to get them all too. We in the same boat, bro. So, nah. I mean, honestly, like with this festival, one of the things is that I have not had. I've probably had half of the collabs that we've had in this festival.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like they like set aside anything for me. Like, it is no, like, yeah, I mean, I know, like, like I saw the article about the brewers gonna work it out before I got the label in my email. Like, the public knows. Y'all think I'm just some puppet master that's just like putting this, like, man, I'm just a dude asking for a couple of, like, hey, you know what might be cool? And they're like, all right, we'll think about it. And then it just next thing you know, it's done. And I'm like, oh shit, that was I don't know. Yeah, no. So I mean, the thing about the festival is, like, you know, as it does, it's morphed, and it's like, at this point, it's going to be a month long festival. So, you know, we're gonna have everything live on the 8th. You know, but like, not all the beer is going to be ready by the 8th. There's going to be people are going to be releasing all over the country when they release it. You know what I mean? There's going to be releases in Maryland and Connecticut and New Jersey. There's going to be a bunch here in Pittsburgh. But like, I just got an email, like, Green Bench isn't going to be able to release their version of the Between You and I. It's a Czech Pilsner with 4 points that they're doing. So 4 points is going to release theirs next Tuesday. Green Bench is going to release theirs later in the month. You know, we got, like, on the 7th, we're probably going to get Grist House, you know, their Fight the Sour, their version of Fight the Sour is going to be released on a different date. Out in New Jersey with White Line, or out in Maine with White Line. I mean, like, so these beers are going to be dropping throughout the month when they all finally are able to be, like, collected and then packaged and shipped in the 8-pack is wholly dependent upon, you know, when the brewers are done, you know, brewing and labeling and canning and shipping and doing all the things on their side. And, like, all these guys are working through a pandemic themselves as well, you know, like, so, like, yeah, like, brewing schedules used to be a thing, and they used to make some sense. But then, like, you know, a lot of these dudes are shipping, like, they're switching over from, you know, 40, 60% kegs, restaurants, you know, like, in-house sales to 100% cans. That's huge. Like, that's a huge shift.
Yeah, it's a huge burden. Model. And we're, you know, facing a can shortage, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and that's what, like, it's wild, because I was like, yo, there's no way, there's no way, like, there's no way the entire industry can shift to one form of packaging and that shit not run out at some point, man. Like I was just looking at it like, this can't be sustainable. Because that's the thing, like, right, as a comedian, like, a lot of my life is looking at life and being like, this probably doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, I mean, it's finding that skew, like, this doesn't make sense. So, like, a lot of it is looking at the absurdity. And, like, when you look at American life, none of this shit is sustainable. Like,
right.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I'm bitching about, like, oh, man, I can't get, Creole food in Pittsburgh. Motherfucker, I don't live next to any Creoles. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I want that shit, it gotta be shipped in, or it gotta be, whatever. And like, like Africa ain't talking about like, oh man, there ain't no motherfucking potatoes out this bitch. Like, yeah, I mean, they ain't mad about that shit. Like unless it's an American first world problem, and a lot of our life isn't sustainable. And as your only method of getting beer is not sustainable, man. Like, if you're gonna have to get some motherfucking rice paper, like, cartons or some shit. We about to be drinking out of those top cartons dips, the milk dips.
We're about to all switch to the Penn Brewery method of Oktoberfest, drinking out
half-gallon milk jugs.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been stocking up since March. I'm ahead of the game.
Yeah,
but I mean, they can't even. Can they fill that? Can they even fill that up in the pandemic?
They could. I've seen some breweries do it. I don't know if it's PA that we can do it, but I think even Penn put out some milk jugs in the harder days.
Yo, you mean okay? Yeah. Putting out. Yeah, I was thinking about getting them refilled because.
I think we could do that. I think we could do that because it's already a defined size if you bring it in. So,
but most of the places haven't been allowing you to bring in growlers because of the pandemic, because of the cleanliness.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you could get a growler, and that's why like it hasn't been really like popping because people are like, I gotta buy a growler every time I come here. Like that's why like up in Boston, I was over there. Man, fuck Boston. One, the streets are wild as shit. They don't make any fucking sense. They're the only fucking city in America that has worse streets than fucking Pittsburgh. The people drive like straight massholes, and then like you can't bring a growler in. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta have a growler from the brewery that you're getting it from. Like they took out also like. So it was this weird thing where like back when I was like holding growlers and shit like, but like. I had like 1,000 growlers at the crib, and I had 1,000 growlers because I kept fucking forgetting to bring a growler whenever I was out drinking and shit. So I was going on a road trip to fucking Boston, and I'm like, so I filled my trunk up with these growlers, and I got there, and they were like, I'm sorry, sir, we can't use these. You have to get one from the brewery. And I'm like,
the one time you planned ahead.
So like, so then like, so I had to like all the space that I had reserved for beer was now reserved for empty fucking growlers on the way home. Man, terrible. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get the refillable the milk cartons, man. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, well, we're not there yet, so we don't have to think about it yet. But
give it a couple of weeks.
Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll adapt. We adapted well enough, going into the thing. So if it changes again, we'll adapt again. But
hey, if Pennsylvania is able to do to-go cocktails,
right,
I think we can adapt. Which I hope to all that is holy and decent that stays after the pandemic is over.
Yeah, let's keep all the to-go options. That was nice.
That needs to stay just forever.
Right.
Yeah. Yo, man, them dudes down in New Orleans, they got the whole drive-through dip. So you drive through, and they keep the paper on top of the straw.
Right. And that's a closed container.
Like, that's a closed container. So I'm saying, man, like, I will styrofoam cup some of this motherfucking Embrace the Martian, man. Yep. Like pull up like, like.
I mean, that's how JR's does it now with they got the to-go daiquiris and shit. It's not a drive-through, but you can walk out with it, and it's got the little paper hat on it.
And once you're out of the building, they don't know what you're doing. It's no
So
longer their
here's-
responsibility.
Here's a lesson. Here's a lesson. See all that cloud down there, as y'all know.
Somebody didn't roll their
For the
can.
viewers, yeah. But see, I thought because I had stored it sideways, I was good. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
no, that just went right down to the. I see what it is.
It's
I
good.
I see where the haze. I was like, where the haze? This shit is so clear. It's so clear for a hazy. Oh my. There it is.
Good
But
to
yeah,
know if
nah,
I buy some.
Yeah, roll them a fucking can.
I'll admit that's been kind of a hard habit for me to get into is start rolling the cans. I don't know why, but for some reason I never do it until I get to the end and I realized, oh shit, I should have rolled my can. But I never learned my lesson.
But this doesn't have that grit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, like it's hazy. I mean, it's definitely whatever. Like, you know, the haze is down there, but it's not that like there's no clumps.
Right, the
Mud
schmutz.
sludge.
Yeah.
So let's I want to ask you about another thing about Fresh Fest coming up. You guys have 3 different kitchen series as part of the Fresh Fest experience, is what I'm calling it now, the experience.
I like that.
But you have a cooking demo, you have a mixology class, and then you also have a baking demo. What all is going into those? Because that's in my wheelhouse because I'm fat.
Well, somebody's been paying attention to the app. Thank you.
I said I got it off the Google Play Store. I don't just say shit to say shit.
People be like, so they keep asking me these questions. I'm like, you motherfucker, do you know how much I didn't put into this damn app? So yeah, so we got a kitchen down in so shout out to RE360, another sponsor of the festival. They own the warehouse where all of the live performance stages are going to be, and the kitchen in Mount Oliver that we're using. It's an industrial kitchen, and we will have 3 different chefs come through, and possibly more come through and do some live cooking. So like. What we basically become are TV producers, man. Like, I mean, it's really what this is. Like, we have Work Hard Digital coming down with like full on cameras and like multiple angles and guys and like streaming through the internet. HereCore is coming through with the lighting and the staging. I mean, it really is like TV production. I think the difference between this and full on TV production is, one, we're not big evil corporations that are funding this, and 2, you know, it's small business, right? These are the folks that are here in our town that are doing the dope shit that we can support before, during, and after the festival. So it gives it that feel. I mean, because people are missing that, like, that connectiveness. You know what I mean? Like live events, you know, getting that, like, oh, like this isn't Beyonce at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like there's a place for that. There's a feeling that gives you, or whatever the fuck. But like, you know, the festival, what you go there for is you want to see the people. You want to know the people there. You want to be like, oh shit, this is happening. So that's what we're trying to do with this festival. And so we invited Jackie Page from Love Rocks. And she's going to be doing, so she's paired with Apis Mead. And if you haven't had any Apis Mead, I implore you, man, it's the first place that I tell people to go to when they come down for drinking in Pittsburgh.
Well, second and third that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially with their new space in Carnegie. Yeah.
Yeah, that space. Like, I mean, like I like Dave, very good friend of mine. He has helped my career in so many ways. That stage, he had that in mind for us with the comedy shows and whatnot. Like, I mean, it's a super dope space, but the liquid that he puts out is something that you can't get anywhere else.
No doubt.
I've been drinking a lot of liquids, and I just have not mimicked the same thing. Like I've not had the same thing that he has. So shout out to him. But he's paired up with Jackie Page, and they're doing this like Jamaican jalapeno honey wine type thing or whatever.
Ooh.
And pineapple honey habanero, like it's some wild ass shit that they're pairing with Jackie's food, and they're going to be live cooking. And like she does a lot of sous vide in her kitchen, and I've been trying to tell people about this sous vide, man. It like the whole, you know, vacuuming the meat and then dropping it in the bowl like that. If you don't know what sous vide is, man, Google that shit. It has changed my life. It's the cheat code to meat, and she runs a whole restaurant off of it. So she's going to be introducing a lot of people to that cooking style, as well as some other traditional things that she does, and pairing that up with the collaboration. We also have Cecil Usher, who's coming through, and he's a mixologist. So him and Byron Nash are actually going to be in the kitchen, and Byron is man. I feel like man, Byron is such a cool ass dude. Like he's a rock star. Like I want to be Byron. I just can't play a guitar, man. This dude, like, he has all the jobs I ever wanted. Like, you know, he has his own beer. He's like a fucking rock star. He's also a bartender and like has all this, like, I mean, wild as hell. He's actually the only person who has collaborated all 3 years on the festival. He's actually releasing Black Metal 3.0 with Helltown. He performed the first year of the festival, and he's performing this year as well. And he's also going to be mixing with Cecil on the show. Like, Byron does it all.
That's awesome.
Man.
That's a tour de force.
Yeah, man. Like Byron is like a third of Fresh Fest at this, at this point, man. Like, so there will be a mixology course, and like mixology is really important, and the food aspect of the festival is really important for us this year, right? Because if you've been to the festival, like that food section, the first year and the second year, like huge. Because when I bitch about like Pittsburgh and not having enough whatever, Fresh Fest is one of the few places where like you're able to see like, oh man, and there's so many different nuances in it, right? There's there's the Cajun, there's the Southern home, there's the Haitians, you know what I mean? You got like the sweets, the liquor cakes, like there's so many different styles of Black cuisine that are present, and I didn't feel like the festival gave enough burn to them. Even though they had a quarter of our space both years, I still didn't feel like they had enough burn. And we were really looking to ramp it up for the in-person event this year, but COVID. So, we wanted to really give them something, and this channel is a way of doing that. And like for us in our career, me and Ed, when we first did our drinking partner shows, we had Camille was a mixologist, and he would like mix up a bunch of different drinks, alcoholic drinks or whatever, and then like give them out at our shows. And that was the beginning of the drinking partners, the Epic Night of Comedy, where we're offering, free beer. So he came down, he would mix up things, give people his card and say, hey, like I got this business. If you want me to come through and, mix some of these dope ass drinks up, like, and he called them pre-prohibition drinks. So they were like the old style, like, drinks or whatever. And he was making business off of that. We were able to sell more tickets because there was free booze there. And it was like, oh shit, like we're able to, like, like you're getting more business.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. So we took that same model and went to the breweries and we're like, yo, you guys are out there pouring at these events. Why don't you come to this comedy show? Because like we're downtown, right? We're at the Playwrights Theater in the middle of downtown on Liberty Avenue. So we're like, yo, like we got like 150 people coming to this night. They're all within your demographic, like, people who are into the arts, trying new things, have disposable income, like all of these same things. Why don't you? And it's an attentive crowd. Like you're not in a crowd. You're not in a festival with 100 other brewers. It's just you and those folks. And they were like, hell yeah. And we've been doing it now for 6 years. And Fresh Fest is here as a result of that same thing. So super excited to have the mixology course there. And then Jewel the Baker
who I happen to be related to, is my first cousin. Shout out to Jewel. But like an amazing baker, and she does, she incorporates a lot of beer and liquor into her baking. So I know she did. What is that? There was a chocolate stout that Penn Brewery puts out.
The Meltdown.
There it is. Yeah, she made an icing with the Meltdown
Ooh.
and put it on top of, on the brownies. So it like on the cupcakes, as a part of an event that Penn Brewery was doing. So she's going to be doing some baking and whatnot, and people are going to be able. So we're going to have the recipes on the app. And you can follow along at home for these 90-minute segments. There's also going to be some mixed pre-recorded content from some folks. I know Rheingeist is going to be doing some things. Great Lakes is going to be doing some things. We have October Mag that's going to be working with a couple of folks that are going to be doing some things. And then there's also maybe going to be some more local hometown folks that are going to hop on and do some live cooking as well that you can follow along at home with. So. And it's not going to be a Zoom call. Like, we're really, there's going to be 5 people there. And the way that we do it and keep it COVID friendly is we have a crew of 3 to 5 people at each venue. They're running the cameras, the lighting, the tech that's keeping it all going. And then we don't have any more than up to 10 people per act. And that way there's less than 15 people in the room at any given time. And it's all COVID friendly, and
that's good. That's awesome. I'm telling you what, the month of August, I'm gonna have to up my workouts by 3-fold just so I can counteract all the food I'm gonna be eating and making, and all the beer I'm gonna be drinking.
Yeah, and we're gonna be putting on. So the festival is gonna be recorded on August 8th, but it'll be available until September 8th. So because there's 54 hours of content that we're putting out there.
You can't watch that all at once.
in one day.
Watch me.
Yeah. You want all the streams, six streams, oh shit.
You got the music in the background as the cooking show and the podcasts are going
on. This total immersion.
Yeah. But there's 54 hours of content. And then again, it's streamed across the planet. So you're not going to be up at 1 o'clock in the morning, in China. And I feel like there's going to be some Chinese motherfuckers that are going to want to watch this. You see what I'm saying? I'm confident enough that out in Beijing they waiting for us. We got Paul from Cloudwater, Paul Jones from Cloudwater. A very, very big name out there, and making a name for himself here. He's already made a name for himself here in the if you know crowd or whatever. But super excited to have him. We got some folks from Canada coming in. It's international. So we want everybody to get a chance to get that.
That's awesome. So we'll be back with segment 3. And we're going to get more into food. I know we've been talking a lot about food, but we'll talk more about food.
How can you not talk about food? It's fantastic.
Yeah. So we're here with Dave Bracey, and we'll be joined by him again to talk about Sandoz coming up in segment 3. Welcome back to episode 164 of the Hob Nation USA podcast. It's segment 3 with our special guest, Dave Bracey from the Drinking Partners podcast, and of course, Fresh Fest coming up on August 8th. So this is time for everybody to show off their third beer if they got one. Adam, did you get a reload?
So I did, but I'm not sure I want to show you. Because I know a couple of episodes back, I threatened about having a Keystone on the show.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm not having a Keystone on the show. I'm not going to do that to you. No. But I will admit this is going to be a repeat from a past show. But it's from RAR Brewing. It's their pulp.
Okay.
I don't think I really got into it that much on the show. It was just sort of a passing, hey, I had the beer, let's move on kind of thing. So I'm gonna try to get into a little bit more this time around.
Okay. You have that, and I surprisingly picked something that was also very similar because I picked the RAR Chop Dank that we had on a previous episode.
Really?
Yeah.
So this has suddenly turned into a Maryland episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason I picked the Chop Dank was because I believe in that episode I was comparing it to the Nimble Giant.
Ah, okay.
And I wanted to see how it compared to the Nimble Giant.
And survey says?
Well, survey says is it's too much.
The drop tank is.
Well, no, it's just like going from the 9% Nimble Giant with an 8% Sweetwater in between, and now this 10% Chop Dank.
Just be glad you get to set your own hours.
Oh yeah, that's the best part of it. But
man, like that, yeah, your liver about to revolt, man.
No, my liver is fine. It knows what's up.
It's been beaten into submission.
I like that. He's like, he knows his place.
Yeah, this is the way I drink when I'm 35 is so much easier for it compared to 25. It's fine.
I do be forgetting about like the first 30 years of life, like before like shit got refined.
Yeah, I'm so much nicer to my body comparatively.
Yeah, but you know what? It like I try to be nice, my body still kicks back.
Well, you're just old. You never went as hard as I did. So
no, I didn't, and I'm still regretting what I'm doing. But that's okay.
Did you pick up a third beer or start another one?
So I got this. That motherfucker. It's a big one. It's 12%.
Ooh.
It's supposed to mimic s'more, and it's got lactose and marshmallows in it. Supposed to be graham cracker or whatever. I don't get a lot of graham cracker or marshmallow. It's very chocolate. It's very chocolate. It's thick. It's 12. It's a stout. And yeah, I mean, they definitely threw a lot of shit in here. So, share it, man. Find people to share this with. Pass it around the party and whatnot. I'm just gonna virtually pass this around to you guys.
Right.
So, and then drink them myself. So, cheers.
Hopefully I can just run
right
up to Creekside and go find some Shunami myself.
Yeah. I don't even know if I ended up getting that straight from the teat.
I think,
Yeah, man. That
one might be too big to just give out to the public like that.
Yeah, it's heavy. Like the can is heavy. Like very, like I mean, like that shit is like 13 pounds.
Well, there you go. Get a workout in before you start drinking it. You burn
That's right.
off the
3
calories.
sets of 10.
True.
Oh man. Yeah, I need to go up to Zealy and Opal and get some of that.
Yeah, Zealy is wild because they have become a destination area, man. You got burgers. Union just opened up down there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty dope. You could do a little tour. North Country, right around the corner and whatnot. Like,
Timber Creek is along that line too.
Yep, I think Big Rail is up there as well. Yeah.
See, I didn't even know Big Rail was out there. Big Rail and Timber Creek, are they newer?
Timber Creek's been around for a while. Big Rail is newer.
They're within the last 6 months, I think, of officially being open. Maybe a year, something like that.
Well, I just remember Big Rail from Brutal Beer Fest.
Yes,
they would show up at that. But,
and I think they recently opened a space.
Okay,
it's kind of where my mind is at.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah,
they make good beer. I'll drink it again.
They're pretty good. But that little northern trail between Pittsburgh and Erie is getting filled up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I mean, you going all the way out to Erie? Like, there's so many goddamn. I mean, like Sprague is still out there. Like, it's wild. That's one of the very one of those low key.
Yeah, Sprague Farm.
Folks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus, you got Voodoo at every other exit between Pittsburgh and Erie.
True. Like that Erie, it was with Lavery's up there up in Erie. That Erie Trail is pretty dope. And it was like, I remember doing the Erie Trail a couple of years ago when like there was an end to it. But now, like, you can just fucking Erie Trail all the way down to Pittsburgh, man. And then you could cut off at some point, go to fucking Ohio if you want. Like, I don't, like, and then like, and now there's even, connections going down into like the South and whatnot, Westmoreland County and like, what is that Porta Tours?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's wild. Like, it feels like the whole like trail thing where people used to go out and be like, oh, you hit these folks up. It's starting to die down because like, where can't you drink within?
Right.
Yeah.
Like within a 5-mile radius, like it's,
Yeah, even Beaver County's starting to be more accepting of all that with Altered Genius and then Petrucci Brothers.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's a little more. It's better than it was. It's better than it was. Come on.
It's better than it was. Yes, it's it's better than it was, man. Like it feels like the lone fucking county, man. Like it's just holding out. So I live in Beaver proper. So like like right around the corner is Waffles Inc. And
hell yeah.
Like they so it's a dry town. Beaver is a dry town. I live in a dry town. And that still exists here in America. There are still towns in America that will not allow you to sell alcohol.
Yeah.
And like Beaver Brewing opened up, and they were like, and Waffles was like, they found the loophole to be like, oh yeah, we could serve some beer, like this super crazy loophole, and they served 3 beers max. And like Beaver was only giving them like 4 and 5% beers. So in one sitting at most, you were getting 3 5% beers. And the people came out like to the next town hall meeting with pitchforks, like, we don't want this devil's whiskey. Like, and it was like, what the fuck is like, but like that's the area that we live in or whatever. And I think that it has heavily impacted the county as a whole. Because if your richest area isn't allowing beer, then what do you have? Like, what hope do you have? You know what I mean? Like, if you can't generate revenue. Like, if Pittsburgh didn't allow beer, Allegheny County wouldn't have beer. Like, you know what I mean? It would be hard to drink in Allegheny County if Pittsburgh didn't allow beer. And I think it's, here in Beaver County. Like,
it would be impossible to drop people in at that point.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, your main revenue source is what allows for everything else to kind of be like, all right, well, this is cool. And that's why it's hard to get a brewery opening up in Beaver Falls and in Brighton Township or whatever, where like, yeah, it's Beaver County, but like, who the fuck is going, like I live in Beaver. And like, for me, it's all Beaver, like, right? Like, you know what I mean? Just like Allegheny County is Pittsburgh. Like, if you live in Allegheny County, you're from Pittsburgh. If you live in Beaver, you're from Beaver. Now, out here, they have this weird shit where it's like, they're like, no, we're Ambridge. And it's like, nobody know the fucking difference between you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody
you're 12 minutes away.
Yeah,
it's only because the people in those towns never leave those towns.
Yeah. Like, this is Aliquippa, but it's not Beaver. Like, get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. But they really, you know what I mean? But it, like, so like it's wild, man. But yeah, it's getting better. But like it's still, it's not a Butler.
It's getting better.
I mean,
there's a long ways to go.
It's got time.
Yeah, Butler is like is over here killing it. You know what I mean? And you know why Butler is killing it? Because Butler Township, like in Butler, opened up 2 breweries, and now there's other. Yeah, I mean, well, let me be wrong. North Country has been there for a while.
Right.
But like it wasn't popping and like as it is now that you have Butler, and all the other spaces there, man.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, that wasn't like downtown Butler. That's Slippery Rock. So that's like
yeah,
college.
exactly.
That's college
it's
townish.
it's Butler County, but like ain't nobody going to like to the what I mean, like, but downtown, as soon as downtown Butler got 2 breweries, you started to see this trail start to develop.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all good things for Western PA though. It just makes drinking experiences better, and
That
makes
just means that there's room for improvement, room for growth in Beaver County. And
yeah.
There
damn
is,
it,
man.
they'll get there one day.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Well, we gotta wait a couple of years, you know what I mean, for these dinosaurs,
That's all it is a waiting game.
That's the sound of inevitability.
Right. That's right.
We go grab some glasses for that one.
All right. Well, it's segment 3, and we wanted to have a little bit of fun. And if anybody's been paying attention to beer Twitter, they know that there's been a huge, probably over a month-long poll of the best sandwiches, because that's what beer Twitter has been talking about, is the best sandwiches.
So
that is the weirdest thing, man. That, like, I follow that dude, and like he has like 10 followers, but like has a fucking stranglehold over the attention of beer Twitter, man. 'Cause, like,
And then eventually got Marrow to retweet him, so.
Wow.
But yeah, there was a poll, and we just wanted to take the time to look into what the pairings of those sandwiches would be. So we wanted to throw it out there and just kind of talk about, we have this sandwich poll. This is the brackets that was presented.
Did you just scribble that together?
No, that's actually from Daniel Garreau's Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I took
All
it
right.
from him.
Oh, okay. Borrowed.
Borrowed, yeah. I just wanted to put it out there. But, I wanted to talk about some of these sandwiches because, of course, some of these are the best sandwiches around. Fried chicken sandwich, of course, great. Pulled pork sandwich, great. Bacon, egg, and cheese, great. Unfortunately, Reuben's did not make it out.
Which is bullshit.
That's bullshit, because I would put Reuben as number 1.
No,
That's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Honorable mention.
That's the one. It's the rye, right? Ain't that with the rye?
Yeah, the rye and the
I
corned
can't get
beef.
that. See,
and
that's
the,
it's
sauerkraut.
it's a polarizing bread, man. Yeah, I mean, if you look at these winners, they don't have polarizing ingredients. You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I'm willing to give you that. I'm not disagreeing. I mean, fried chicken and pulled pork, I understand why they go over. I get it. It's just personal opinion. I love Reuben's.
And since you edit the show, Steve.
Right. But yeah, we just want to kind of go around and what do we think are the best beer pairings for these sandwiches? So let's start with fried chicken. And if you have a personal favorite place to get a fried chicken sandwich, go ahead and you can go ahead and put that out there as well. But if you have a beer and a chicken pairing, go ahead, let it go.
Chicken.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, personally, right now for me, the original Popeyes chicken sandwich is at the top. I don't particularly love the spicy one because
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Just something about the spiciness is like flat and metallic. At least the one I had. I don't know.
Sometimes if you focus too much on the spice, on the hot, you lose that. Yeah, I mean, you lose the actual flavor.
Right. Yeah.
There's got to be. That's what like Indians and Haitians and Caribbeans do really well, is give you like level 85 spice, but also hella fucking flavor. And I mean,
yeah,
like it's hard to do.
A lot of Thai food does that too. Like I love fucking Thai food, and I'll ask them for an 11 plus when they're asking 1 to 10. So, but they still keep the flavor. The Popeyes, like the Popeyes spicy, it didn't have any flavor. It was all kind of heat, but no. So
I mean, Southern cuisine is supposed to have a heat to it, like, but it's not meant to be like, like, yeah, I mean, like, it's just not. If you get into the other, don't get me wrong, like, it depends on your palate.
You know what I mean? Like my palate coming from a Southern cuisine, like everything is spiced, everything
Yeah.
has a heat level. But like, so like my introductory heat level is just different from other people. But like it's not meant to be like crazy. Like Nashville hot is about where you peak at the heat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like a real Nashville hot chuck and chicken sandwich. Like that's where you peak kind of at Southern heat. And that Nashville hot probably is where like your real good Indian begins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder if somebody has like a chart of like Indian versus Nashville hot versus Thai versus.
there's the Scoville. Scoville.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's the best you can get. But yeah, for me, for the original chicken sandwich from Popeyes, that one it's gotta be just like a nice thick stout, or not a thick stout, but a thick IPA. Like a double IPA is gonna go really good with a chicken sandwich. And I, throw it back to earlier in the episode, that Nimble Giant is almost a perfect pairing because you just get there's a little bit of that citrus and a little bit of that maltiness with the Nimble Giant. And then you also get that same breadiness as well as the citrus from the pickles on the Popeyes. So they all play well together. I'm into it.
See that.
So I actually went a different direction because in my mindset, when I hear fried chicken sandwich, I always go with the spicy fried chicken sandwich, like a Nashville hot. And for me, I want something that's fairly refreshing, kind of crisp. So to me, I went with the Working Class Hero by Spoonwood. Just a nice, easy drinker, something that you can take 2 or 3 swigs of and just enjoy it. I think that would complement the spicy chicken sandwich fantastically.
That's just all washing it down and keeping things cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to, you don't have to get complex with it. Just a nice, easy drinking beer.
So, I'm gonna go with more on that like Mexican chili stout, or like a porter, where you get that chili and it like not the spicy chicken sandwich, just the fried chicken, and then you get that porter with the spice in it, and it just adds, and it just keeps going in that like that bready, and it goes into that chili, and it kind of adds to that. I don't know, like I like that. I like the mix of savory and sweet and spicy. And that chicken for me, like, I mean, because I feel like fried chicken is one of those things when, like, fried chicken, like just regular fried chicken, I feel like it's one of those things that goes with anything. Like, I mean, you could drink a lager with it, you could drink like, it's just because, like, the spices in it, like, when they're left on your tongue, it just accentuates whatever flavors are going to follow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I've had a lot of fun. Like, I love spicy foods with stouts because it just feels like there's fireworks that are on your tongue when you do that. And then when you add a good, like, so Alematic, we had this man, those dudes, they to date. So Shubrew had the best Mexican zapatos, or A Boy Named Shu was my favorite Mexican chili stout before. But Alematic, they sent over this guy. Oh my God, man! And it was a right balance and flavor. And putting that behind chicken, I'm gonna go with that.
Oh boy, do we have something for you to try if we ever make it again? But Adam and I have homebrewed a stout that was a blueberry raspberry Carolina Reaper stout, and we had a normal version and then we had a spicy version. But both of them you would probably enjoy. So yeah,
I enjoy, but see,
I enjoy it if it gives me the right amount of spice, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I had a habanero, that habanero sculpin, and it was painful. I was just like,
okay, then you won't like one of the versions of the homebrew we have.
It was like, I was just like, oh, like it took us a half hour to share a 12-ounce sculpin. This is back when you could share things pre-COVID.
In the before times.
In the before times, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, it took us like a half hour. Like, holy fuck, man, this shit hurts. You know, but like, if you get the nice spice on it, where it, like, it gives you that and then it just fucks off a little bit, and it just tingles and it's gone. Oh, that's the good shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So,
Yeah, okay.
I want to try that. Give me the mild version.
Yeah, you'll like the mild version. The hot version sticks with you for about a half hour.
And then a little bit the next day.
Yeah. I was okay with it, but like we gave it to Adam and Dennis from First Sip, and both of them were sweating from the hot version. So
yeah. It was it was an event. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah.
Is that still the hottest pepper, or did they come out with a new one? I feel like every 2 years they got a new hottest pepper.
There's a new one called Pepper X, but like I don't think it's available to the commercial market. So
they just stopped naming them. They're just
right, they're just like Pepper X.
Yeah.
Pepper 2020.
They started giving them like James Bond villain names. So
Nice.
all right, let's move on to the next sandwich, pulled pork, and this is a very specific pulled pork sandwich I have in mind, but if you guys have any other thoughts, go ahead. But the one I'm thinking is from Rowdy Barbecue on Route 51. Heading,
All right.
Yeah, it's like heading towards Uniontown, but it's not in Uniontown. It's just like go in that direction.
Such Pittsburgh directions.
Yeah, it might be more Brentwood the more I'm thinking about it, but Rowdy Barbecue on Route 51, they have a sandwich called the Whole Hog. And it's pulled pork on like a 6-inch hoagie roll and then covered in nacho cheese. Yeah.
That sounds good. I'll tell you what.
It's really good. I used to eat them when I was
that nacho cheese.
I used to get them when I was working at a warehouse, and I would just eat that for lunch and then go to sleep for the rest of the day. Fuck off.
That was your NyQuil.
Yeah. But I would totally pair that with almost any smoked beer.
Like a good Roush beer.
Yeah, a good Roush beer. Any smoked beer would go great with pulled pork.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy that. Ate some Sunday.
You won that one.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to say mine because I'm pretty sure you're going to win regardless.
I mean, do you have a favorite pulled pork sandwich at least?
No.
Okay. You can just say Union, or you can say Two Brothers.
I do like Two Brothers, but I'll be honest with their pulled pork. I like that on their poutine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
Oh. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, they haven't opened up yet.
I know. Well, problems.
I know. Yeah, this whole pandemic thing is keeping them from opening up right now, and it's very frustrating because it's very frustrating because that's kind of my happy place. Like if I feel really good about myself or really bad about myself, I'll go there.
Either way, it'll bring you to a place that you're okay with.
Right. It'll bring me to contentment.
Yeah.
And really, that's all I need in life.
Just being content and sedated.
Food, man. Whether you're feeling good or whether you're feeling bad, food is there for you.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, why is it that all the good spots are closed on Sunday and Monday? Because Sunday I'm feeling good, like it's the weekend, and then Monday I'm feeling bad, like it's Monday. I need those times I need food most. I need food.
And then by Tuesday, you're kind of back into the swing of things, and you don't need it as much.
Let me just go back to McDonald's. I don't give a fuck. Like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just go back to murdering myself passively, like the rest of life. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Tuesday and Monday, it's like, ooh.
Tuesday and Wednesday, you don't think about. You can just shove whatever in your face. Sunday and Monday.
And have.
Yeah. Day, do you have a favorite pulled pork sandwich in Pittsburgh or otherwise?
I don't know. Pulled pork. Yeah, I mean, pulled pork is typically one of those things that are like you either do it or you don't. Like it's there's not a lot of not a whole lot of variation in the pulled pork. I guess the sandwich is where it comes in. But like I do fucks with Walters down in Lawrenceville. I like their pulled pork. I like the sauces. I like the fact that you don't need the sauce for the pulled pork. Like that shit is dope. I mean, like I have this whole thing about barbecue where like if I need to put sauce on this, you failed. Like I mean, like that's. I grew up in a seasoning and meat environment. You know what I mean? Where like if a motherfucker hands you a plate of meat and you reach for something before like then like yeah, I mean something's wrong, either I or you, but the situation ain't right. You see what I'm saying? So it's weird. Like in PA, it's like the cuts of meat are cooked to perfection. Like they fall off the bone. The texture is there, like all the juice in that bitch. But then, you know what I mean? But Walters, yeah, I mean they season their meat down there. So, and I would, throwing a little like as an option, throwing a little bit of barbecue on there, and then I've recently been getting into the lager barbecue pairing. Just the flavors again, like just man, like this bready. Multi kind of like a really. So I had this a couple of weeks ago. Victory has a lager out. You can get like a 15 pack for something reasonable. You know, like $15-20 or something like that. 4%, 8%, something like that. You know what I mean, like just a very good cookout beer. And I was eating some barbecue, some ribs, and I washed it down with the lager, and it just that's good. It just brought out the best of both worlds, man. It was just like this. It felt like summer. It definitely felt like summer. So yeah, I'll go with the little barbecue pork and the lager.
Right on.
Damn, I like both of your answers.
Yeah, I mean, they're both lagers basically. One's just mine's smoked and his isn't.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing you bring up though, Dave. Like Pittsburgh doesn't really have a barbecue style because like we just kind of take from everybody else. We didn't develop a barbecue style because we're not like saucy like Kansas, or we're not just rubs and spice only like Texas. So we're just kind of we do whatever and try your best, see what you get.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly on the like saucy side. Like I said, I mean, like Pittsburgh is big about sauces.
Oh, for sure.
And
I mean, Heinz.
Yeah, I mean, like it's sauce first around here or whatever. But like, I do appreciate a good rub, man. Like, I mean, that's for me, just preference wise. A good rub will, because I mean, shit, man. Then when you add the sauce on that motherfucker, it's like you get to play with it. Like, you get to play with it a little bit. So I don't know, preference.
All right, let's move on to our favorites because we got about 5 minutes left in the show, I guess. So let's move on to our favorites. Do you have a favorite sandwich and beer pairing?
Ooh,
if that's possible.
I don't know that is.
If it's possible. I think for me is a Reuben in anything that's extra heavy, but not sweet. So like any kind of stout that's dry, or any kind of barley wine that's barrel aged, or barrel aged for both. I don't give a shit. Just barrel age it all. Put a little bourbon on that. But yeah, bourbon and Reubens go really well together. So that's where my head's at.
Damn, that's a tough one to beat. But since you already took Reuben, I can't say Reuben as well.
You can. If it's your favorite, it's your favorite.
I do like a good Reuben, but I do like a good I like a good Monte Cristo as well.
Okay.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think with that's another one where you just need a good, easy drinker. So I'm going to piggyback on what you guys said on the last round with the lager. Just a good, easy drinking, just a lager.
Okay. Can I give you a suggestion, though?
Sure.
Monte Cristo is a breakfast sandwich, right?
Yeah.
So any kind of light coffee ale, like a spoon would, Cold Drip City.
True.
Would probably go really well with as well.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, you could go with some maybe a Sunny Side Up.
You can totally go
Pizza Boy.
Yeah, you can go sweet stout as well.
Yeah, just wreck your day. It's 9 a.m. Who cares?
Well, it's brunch. It's Sunday brunch is what it is, and you're just fucking up your Sunday.
That was gonna happen anyways, so you may as well do it right.
Yeah. Bray, do you have a favorite sandwich and beer pairing?
Man, so I'm gonna go with catfish. I love me a good catfish sandwich. I mean, but the pairing for that, I want to go porter. Like I said, I like because it's same in line with the fried chicken. It's fried. It has that greasy kind of the greasy, spicy, feel to it. Especially if you throw a little hot sauce on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, with the hot sauce, if you get now, because I'm eating it, I don't really want to follow it up with a thick stout, but like a decent porter, would be nice with that. Maybe even like a brown ale would be dope. Little sweet, a little bit of that breadiness to complement it or whatever, just flow right. I think it might be it. I think it might be a brown ale. You know what I mean? Like a light brown ale with some catfish.
Like Allegheny City's Deutschtown Brown, that would go really well with like a catfish sandwich with that has a lot of black pepper on it. Yeah.
This episode's gonna make me eat so much food in the next couple of days.
Yo, I'm about to go crash some
It's
shit.
the goal. It's the goal. Just sandwiches. All right. Well, I think we all are ready to go have something good to eat right now. We're all ramped up.
Wouldn't work.
With that in mind, Day, why don't you go ahead, just give out all your plugs for where everybody can find you. Everything's going on with you. You got a lot going on, so go ahead.
I am half of the hosting tandem of the Drinking Partners podcast. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. So you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. You can also find us at Fresh Fest, Digi Fest, digifest.com. August 8th through September 8th, we will have 54 hours of entertainment live streaming on the 8th, and then pre-recorded afterwards of brewing, cooking, music, forums, and the like. And we also have a bunch of beer. So check that out at freshfestdigifest.com. And we have an app. If you're confused as to what a digital beer festival is, well, we have an app for that. So go out and check that out. And stop asking me questions, man. It's on the app. All the answers on the app. The app knows all.
It's all there. I can confirm. It's pretty good. All right. And if you want to find us, we're on every social media. That includes Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. But all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on, again, all those same platforms that Day just mentioned, because we're on all those as well. So just do that. And if you're on any of those platforms, leave a 5-star review, because
we are a 6-sandwich show, but they only let us use 5.
And that's a worse crime than not being able to get a stuffed cabbage sandwich anywhere in the city. But I want to thank.
Potatoes?
Yeah, you guys got potatoes on your pizza? We're into that. Well, I just want to thank Dave for coming on, and of course, go check out Fresh Fest. Go to freshfest.com, and it'll be August 8th for all the music and videos and cooking and artists and podcasts and
that's the, we didn't even talk about the music side of things very much.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good bands in there. I've been going through the list. there's some good bands in there.
Yeah, well, it's all there. So
Yeah.
check it out. And, like Dave said, there's a month's worth of content that's coming your way this August. So you'll still have something to do if you're hanging out at home. But, yeah.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. And we'll be back in the studio probably doing something.
So thank you, everybody. Pick up merch. Buy our shit. Hot Nation USA is the keyword on tpublic.com.
TeePublic. Check it out.
Buy our shit. It's good shit.
It's nice.
The best.
All right. Bye.